Alright, welcome everybody to the channel. My name is Matt, and this is the Gaming Corner. So, today I thought I'd do a little bit of a different video. I'm going to do a collection video showing off my DreamCast collection. It's not very large at the moment, but I am working on trying to make it a lot larger. So, I figured I'd take the time out and just show you guys what my DreamCast collection looks like at the moment. I've been watching a lot of Sega Head, who I'll have linked in the description down below. And he's done some collection videos, and I really like the way he does them. So, I'm kind of going to try to steal his idea a little bit and do my own here. First things first, I do want to thank everybody who subscribed lately. I appreciate that very much. But now, without further ado, let's get on with the Sega Dreamcast. So, the first game in my Dreamcast collection is right here. My Dreamcast games are sitting right over here. First game I'm going to talk about is this one. I am still, as most of you have probably seen in a couple of my other videos, I'm trying to finish off the US release official release of Sega Master System games. So I've been slowing down on buying Dreamcast and everything else, but I have added one new one to my collection, and that is Hydro Thunder. This is a Dreamcast game you must have. It's extremely well done for a boat racing game. A definite must. When I saw this at the retro store out here, I had to have it. So I grabbed this one immediately. One part is going to be trying to figure out where to put these games after I show them. Alright, now, the next game. This game I'm actually a huge fan of. I feel this is maybe a, I don't know who made this one. Konami made this. This is kind of like a stab at the Ace Combat games. This is called Air Force Delta. This game is actually quite amazing on the Dreamcast. It does have that Ace Combat type of feel to it. Very arcadey, very fun. Next game on the list, if you're an arcade fan, this is one that you must also have on a Dreamcast. I am still looking for number 2, but that is Crazy Taxi. If you ever notice, when I look off to this side of my screen, I'm actually checking how the camera is showing the game box here. But this is a very well done game. This version of the game has the better music in it than the other ones you can get off like Xbox and all that, because no updates, so the music's never been changed. Next one. And there's my games. I was wondering when that was going to happen. Alright, so this next game, when I originally had my Dreamcast before, this is one of the games I had. I've actually enjoyed this one quite a bit. I would love to say this is complete. It is not. Don't have the manual for this game or anything, but it is, I'm going to probably pronounce his name completely wrong, Dave Mirra Freestyle BMX. If you like the Tony Hawk's games, this one's really good. I believe they did do a second one, not on the Dreamcast, but on the Xbox and PlayStation, and it's called Dave Mirra's Freestyle BMX XXX. At least I think Dave Mirra removed his name from the game. This one's fun. Tony Hawk's is better, naturally. But that's a pretty fun game. Alright, next one on the list is another one of these you must have Sega game on here. To me, this is probably the best version of this style game, especially if you don't want strictly arcade type, and that is Daytona USA. This is a one heck of a Daytona game. If Sega's Online was still working, you could actually play this online back in the day. There is a group trying to do that. There are multiple modes, multiple cars, beautiful graphics. Definitely well worth it. Next one, if you're into fighting games, this is another one that is well worth on your Dreamcast, well worth picking up. And that is Dead or Alive 2. This is awesome on the Dreamcast. Graphics are gorgeous. If you like bouncing boobies, you get that in this one too. But this is an excellent fighting game. Alright, this next game I didn't know much about. I found a good deal on it on eBay, and I decided to give it a shot, and I found out this thing is a lot of fun. It is Demolition Racer No Exit. This thing is a lot of fun. Great racing game, great destruction when you smash into other cars. Cars can feel a little floaty, but definitely a fun racer. I believe you can get this on the PlayStation also. Alright, the next one is disc only. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see it fully, but this one, a lot of people say has very beautiful graphics. I really haven't played it too much yet. It does give you an inside the car view instead of outside, so as you can see, it's a racing game. It's F355 Challenge, Ferrari Challenge. This is a Ferrari racing game. I haven't really played it too much yet, so I can't really comment too much on it. Keeping on with the racing themes, this is another one that I grabbed at one of our local stores out here. It is complete in box, and it is Flag the Flag. I actually don't even think I've even played this game yet, so can't really comment too much because I haven't really played it yet. Alright, the next one is an update to an older arcade game. This one you can get on a couple other units too, but it is Frogger 2, Swampy's Revenge. The little bit I played this one just to make sure it works, it's actually a lot of fun so far. I believe you are Frogger trying to get your children back that have been kidnapped or something like that. Graphic-wise, this is really good on the DreamCast. I enjoyed it. You can get this if you have a PlayStation 1. You can get it on the PlayStation 1 also. Now, back to the Sega arcade game, which with Dreamcast was known for doing great arcade ports. And this game is absolutely great on the Dreamcast. I wish I had the gun to use for it because it is a light gun game, but it works great with the controller. And that is House of the Dead 2. This is a lot of fun. This game is a joy to play. I got this one off of eBay. Complete in box also, but just a beautiful, beautiful game on a Dreamcast. This one is well worth it. Now this next game, and everything just falls again. Over there, stay up, please. I said stay. Listen to me. Don't. Alright. This next game is something that not a lot of people are going to like. I did get this brand new, was still wrapped, was never opened. I had this game once before on my Dreamcast. I am a flight sim fan. And when I had this once before on a Dreamcast, I liked it. I thought I still had it. Found out I didn't, so I had to rebuy it again. And that is Iron Aces. World War II, what is it called? High-speed World War II aerial combat. This game is, in my opinion, a lot of fun. You are inside the plane. You're fighting. You're dog fighting like crazy. When you get a kill, it goes to an outside shot. You get to see the kill happen. Great. I think the graphics are great, and I think the sound is really good. But not a game for everybody. You got to be a flight sim fan to like that. All right. The next game, it's one of my favorite racing games, actually. I do have disc and manual. I just need to get a box now. And that is Looney Tunes Space Race. If you're into like Mario Kart and stuff like that, this is definitely similar, I guess I could say. It's similar to those style games. I mean, you get your weapons, you get to blow people up. This is a fun game on the Dreamcast. It's expensive though. I got mine disc and manual for a lot cheaper than trying to go whole. Is it worth the high price? I don't know. It doesn't have that many tracks or anything like that, but it is a fun game. This next game probably doesn't need any introduction. It is a fighting game. This is number 1. Number 2 is also on here. but it is probably one of the better fighting games for, well, I mean, the game is just awesome. It's Marvel versus Capcom. This one is awesome. The second one is even better, but the graphics, the visuals, the sound, the animation, everything rocks in this game. This game is a lot of fun. This is one that if you can find, try to. It's definitely worth it. The case that I got here is a reproduction case. There is no manual. It's just the front and back insert, but the game is authentic. I bought this game disc only, so I saved myself some money on that. And then I bought the jewel case here that a guy did a print for me of for I think like $7. So I can't complain about that. Alright, these next couple games coming up are compilation discs, so there's more than one game on them. They are arcade compilation discs. I was watching, I don't remember if it was Metal Jesus or John Hancock or whoever. It was one of those type of guys, and they were talking about the compilation games, discs, and how great they are, and they're not lying. You can get a lot of games for a very cheap price. And this is volume 1 of Midway's greatest arcade hits. A lot of good games on here. You got Joust, Defender. A lot of great games on here. A lot of fun. Definitely worth it. Also complete. The games are extremely well done. This is actually a fun one to have. Not too expensive neither. And you can probably guess what the next one's going to be. Choom! Midway's Greatest Hits Volume 2 on here. I went after this one first. This is the one I got first, though, because it had Rampage on here, Paperboy, what was the other one I'm thinking of? Moon Patrol, and I always pronounce this wrong. My kids make fun of me. Gauntlet. Gauntlet. Right there are my favorite games on here. The 720 game that's on here, it's listed right there. I don't know if I've ever tried that one yet, but I've played all the other ones. This was well worth the money. Also, again, very cheap. Alright, this next game. I don't even think I played this one at all yet. And I got this one from, I believe, down at Freaky Toys out here in Wisconsin, in Sheboygan. And it's Monaco Grand Prix. I don't even think I played this one yet. I think I'm going to have to one of these days. It's another racing game. I enjoy racing games, so that's why I bought it. But I don't think I played it yet. You know, when I was watching Sega Head, he mentions that, you know, it's a hard time for him to do Let's Plays and stuff like that because of his YouTube channel. And plus, he also works, too. Me, it's more or less that I work, and it makes it very hard to play a lot of games. Alright, the next collection, the next game in the collection, the next compilation collection game is another arcade one. And it is the Nemco Museum. I actually wanted this for one game in particular, and that's Pole Position. Love Pole Position in the arcade. But as you can see, it's got some great games in it. Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man, Galaga, I think that's how you pronounce it, Dig Dug. Well worth it. Another very, very cheap game to get hold of, and definitely well worth it. Alright, the next couple games I'm going to kind of go through just kind of quickly because there's not really much to mention on here. But let me just grab all of them at one time. There's one more hiding in the back though. Alright, so these next couple games, which my CDs are all goofy, you got NBA 2K. $2K1 NBA. This is when Sega really got into the mix of doing great sports games. NBA Showtime. This is basically NBA Jam on a Dreamcast. Very well done. Then you got NCAA Football 2002 with Drew Brees on the cover. Road to the Rose Bowl. Oh, look at that, NFL 2K. If you get a Dreamcast, you gotta have their 2K series games. They're that well worth it. 2K1 with Randy Moss. Wasn't he on the first one too? Yeah, he was on the first one too. And then, can you guess? Can you guess? I bet you can't. I bet you can't guess. Oh, 2K2. 10 once is you can't guess the next game, though. No way in hell you're guessing the next game. Boom! NFL Quarterback Club 2000 with my favorite quarterback of all time, Brett Favre, on the cover. Only reason why I really wanted it. Still haven't even played it. Don't even know how good it is. I know the 2K games rock, though. Stay. All right, one more sports game at the moment before we get to the last one, which will be towards more of the end of the list. But hockey. It's the only hockey game I got on the Genesis. On the Genesis, believe that this is Genesis on Dreamcast. That's the only hockey game I have. I don't know if they have a 2K1 and 2. I'll have to look. If they do, I'll have to get them. All right, we're moving on to another game that I got was just CD only. I believe number 2 is also on a Dreamcast of this one. I need to get that one. And this actually is a really fun game. It's Ready to Rumble Boxing. This thing is a lot of fun, and its graphics are really good. This is a great boxing game, great arcade boxing game. This next one might be kind of hard to read. So I'm going to open it up. I only got disc only because it was too expensive everywhere else. If I can get it open, there we go. This is a great racer. San Francisco Rush 2049. This thing is great. Nice speed, fast, awesome gameplay. If you can get hold of this on a Dreamcast, do it. If not, if you have an original Xbox, it's on the, I think it's on the Midway Compilation 3 CD that they made. But definitely well worth the money. Alright, this is a racing game that I've been having a lot of fun with. Still got to play more of it. And that's Sega GT. Graphics in this one are definitely good. There's one that has even better graphics that we'll get to in a little bit later. But this one is good. It is fun. There's another version of it on the original Xbox. I think it's called Sega GT 2002. But this is fun. You do get to build your own type of car, all that kind of stuff, apparently. I haven't done that part. I just buy the cars themselves and race them. But this one's a lot of fun. Here's a game I've actually never even put in my Dreamcast to actually play, besides just to make sure it works. This is another one where it's not the original cover or anything. It only cost me $6. Sega Marine Fishing. I still have never even played this. I popped it in Dreamcast. It works. That was all I did. Can't really comment much. I got a feeling it's just like Sega Bass Fishing. You know, catch the fish, certain weight, get time limit. Graphic-wise, it definitely is pretty nice from what I've seen. Still haven't played it at all. Alright, this is a Sega Dreamcast game that gets a lot of hate. I will agree the emulator that they used in it sucks. But at least the stuff is playable. But there's one game in here in particular that is well worth playing. This is disc only, by the way. It's a Sega Smash Pack. This is Volume 1, I think is what they call it. Yeah, Volume 1. They never made a Volume 2 on the Dreamcast. The emulator that they used sucks in here. It does have a lot of good Genesis games on here, but the game worth getting this for is Virtual Cop 2 is on here. That alone makes it worth this. Virtual Cop 2's arcade port is very well done. I'd almost say it's perfect, but this is well worth it. For that game only. Alright, the next one. Sega might have dropped the ball a little bit when they ported this one over because they could have did a heck of a lot better with the port. Physically wise, the game is good. Chance that the Saturn version of the first game is a little bit better. Graphically wise, this one, like I said, Sega dropped the ball. They made it working with the Windows CE. And that is Sega Rally Championship 2. It is still good. Great draw distance, great speed, 60 frames per second. At least that's what I think it runs at, because it runs very, very smooth. It is really good. Graphically wise, it's inferior to what the Dreamcast should have been able to do. Stay. Alright, so this next one, tell it to stay and the other one falls. Go frickin' fig. This next game I'm probably going to pronounce wrong. It is something, if you get the Dreamcast, you have to try to get hold of. You can get it on, I think the PlayStation 4 has it. I know the Xbox has it. It's on PC. It's on Steam now. You can get both games in the series. I'm going to pronounce it the way I always do. Shamu. Shimu. Shamu. Shamu's a whale, so I guess this is a whale. This game, a lot of people love this game. I'm 50-50 on it. The game takes a while to start. It's kind of boring until you get into the actual fightings in the game and stuff. It turns out to be more like a walking, talking simulator. If you like really bad B-style movies with commentary in that, or the old, Japan movies that when they came over to the U.S. had the really bad lip syncing being done, this is what you want to watch then and play. This is complete in box. Everything's in here. I don't remember what I paid for it. Picked it up just recently because you got to have this on a Dreamcast. It's one of those you got to have on the Dreamcast just because that's where it started its life at. This next game can get a little expensive on the Dreamcast. It is, exactly like everybody says, one of the best arcade ports out there. This game blows you away with how good the visuals are, how good the gameplay is, the music, the sound, everything. Mine's disc only. Soul Calibur. This is another must-have on a Dreamcast. It is beyond belief how well they did with this. Just to see how well they did with this, like if you put up against a 360, and the 360 is the actual arcade port, you put this up against that, you'll be amazed how great this one is. This is another game I really haven't tried too much. I'll get around to it one of these days. Soul Fighter. I believe this is a beat-em-up game. Just checking what it says on the back here. Attempt to defeat 5 brutal first bosses, explore 5 worlds, blah 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 blah. 3D battle-ready heroes. Yeah. I believe this is a beat-em-up game. I'll have to try this out maybe after I'm done with the video and actually see what it is. I've actually never played it. A lot of these games, when I buy them down at Freaky Toys or up at the Respawn Gaming out here where I live, I just put them in, make sure they work, and I'm like, I'll get to them later. It's been probably almost a year, and I still haven't got to this one yet. Next game is definitely one that you need on the Dreamcast. You need this one and the other one. They are getting very expensive though now. I got this one at a pretty good price. I need to find number 2. I'll be probably buying number 2 as a Japanese version of it though, because it's cheaper. But that is Sonic Adventure. If you're going to do Sonic Adventure, granted you can get it almost anywhere, lately, Steam, all that stuff. Having the original is still, in my opinion, one of the better ways to go. Do I really need to say much about this? Sonic in 3D. It has its flaws. It wasn't perfect. It's a lot of fun. Have I ever beat this game? Yes, as Sonic and Sonic only. Didn't care about anything else. I just beat it as Sonic. Did I get all the Chaos Emeralds? Hell no. I don't care. I just beat it as Sonic. My son, on the other hand, has beaten it with every single character. On the PC version on Steam, he was working on getting S ranks on every level. I don't know if he got that far yet, but the kid is insane when it comes to Sonic. He beat this with every character too, on the Dreamcast. And then I wiped out his save on him because I'm such a nice dad. This game, I got CD only. I got a replacement CD jewel case for it, so no manual. Love the game. Used to have it on PC also. It's nowhere near as good as the newer titles have been lately, but you gotta have Spider-Man. Spider-Man does whatever the Spider can. Okay, enough singing. I actually like this one a lot. It's not really open world. You're up on rooftops only, so I have no clue where Spider-Man sticks his webs to swing. Um, but physically wise, the game is good. Somewhat tanky controls though, with the way Spider-Man moves, because you know they definitely didn't have it down yet like they do in Insomniac Spider-Man games. Holy crap! But this one is actually pretty good on the Dreamcast. We're getting close. All right, the next one. Most people I talk to hate this game because it's very slow. But that was the idea for these cars back in this time in racing. They weren't doing 200 miles an hour. They weren't Bugattis. And I actually like this game quite a lot. Spirit of Speed, 1937. Yes, it is a slow racing game. You're not going to be racing at over, 150, 170 miles an hour. These cars didn't go that fast back then. You got to keep that in mind. I think the graphics are beautiful in it. Churning can be a little difficult, but that might be the way those cars were back then. I never drove a car back then. I don't think I'm that old. So I don't know how these cars really handled, but I love this game. I find this game to be a blast. I love the graphics. I love the way it controls. Just, it's a lot of fun. If you get this game, give it a chance. Keep in mind, it's a racing game that was supposed to be done in 1937. Those cars aren't going to be that fast yet. This is a game that surprised me. I got disc only of this one. But this one surprised me in how good this actually is for a bike racing game. Suzuki, whatever the heck that next word is, Extreme Racing. You're racing on bikes. This is well done. It's not as bad as some of the other bike racing games. Graphics are really good. Some of the other bike racing games that I've seen, you turn a little too sharp and you crash and all that. This is nice arcade racing bike game. Yeah, that made sense. This is a very good game. Oh, yeah. I put those two in the opposite order. All right. Yep, my alphabet order is backwards. I just realized that. Okay. The next game are two games you must have on the Dreamcast. And I'm going to show them both at the same time. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. You got to have these on the Dreamcast. This is where Tony Hawk games, I'm going to say started at, but they were on the PlayStation also. But you can get the remakes, or you can go and look for originals either here or on the PlayStation and not have any missing content like Spider-Man. He's in one of these two. Find him. Great music, great graphics, great control. Just awesome racing games. Awesome skateboarding games. If you like tank controls, and you're into, well, what used to be called Pointy Boob Girl, I think this one a lot of people say kind of was a downfall of this series, though. Tomb Raider, The Last Revelation, or it was the one that they liked. Definitely tank controls, better graphics. You don't really have the booby Tomb Raider anymore, Lara Croft. The pointy boob, triangle boobs. I played this one a little bit just to make sure it works. I wanted to check it out. It's definitely tank controls. I'm not a fan of tank controls. But so far from when I played this game, it's pretty good. It does have very decent graphics. I just have to get used to the controls yet. The controls are very, what everybody calls tank controls. Alright, this next one. Definitely a good racer. I forgot what they changed the name to when it finally started going to the Xbox. But I only got number one of the game. There are two of them. Number two is kind of expensive. Tokyo Extreme Racer. This is a nice racing game. A lot of racing at night. A lot of racing on highways. This is a really good racing game. Don't think it's one of my top favorites. That's actually going to be coming up, like I said, a little bit later besides the Looney Tunes. But this one's really good. Alright, so this next one, I know is an RPG. Haven't really played it yet. Picked it up a couple months back. I wish the holder was the real one, especially for the price that I paid. But this is Time Stalkers. I haven't played it, can't say much about it yet. I do know the graphics are really good when I popped it in to make sure it works. But that's about all I can tell you. I know it's an RPG. Try it. I know you really can't see those words on there, but that print that they used for this jewel case is just nasty. Can't really say much about it though. Besides the fact that I paid 25 bucks for it. Alright, next game is CD only. This is a fun race game if you like rally games. It's Test Drive V Rally. There's a number 2 on the DreamCast also, which I gotta look for, but this is well worth it. This is a fun rally game. I actually find this one to be better than Sega Rally with graphic-wise. They did a much better job on this one. Car control is good, everything is good. Alright, so this next racing game, like I said, I got a lot of racing games in here. This is a decent one. It can be a little long, so they do try to give you that 24-hour racing type idea, and my jewel case is completely shattered. But that's Test Drive Le Mans. It's getting hard to see those things. Over here, over there, over there, over there, over there, over there, over there, over there. This is actually a really good racing game. Beautiful graphics. It can be a little long in the racing because you do race for a long time. It's set on a timer to give you an idea of 24 hours. It can take a while. You could be racing one race that feels like for 4 hours almost. I don't know if that's a true statement, but it does feel like that. This next racing game is the one I need to play more. I haven't really played it too much yet. I do know graphic-wise, I like the graphics in it. I like the controls of the car. Test Drive 6. Like I said, haven't really played it much, so I can't really comment too much on it. I popped it in, tested it out, did a real quick race, turned it back off, and went back to what I had to do that day, which I think might have been heading back to work or picking up my kids from school, one of the two. All right, this next sports game in here. This is one hell of a sports game. There are like 3 of these also, a 2K, 2K1, and 2K2. I have 2K2. But it's Sega's Tennis 2K2. That's the Serena sisters on there. Serena Williams sisters or whatever. This is an excellent tennis game. I'm not a huge fan of playing tennis, physically wise. But if you want a good tennis game that's really fun on the Dreamcast, this is one of them. Any of the 2K games are good. I think this one's probably the top. That's why I got that one over the others right now. Alright, this next game. It's another racing style game. I haven't really played it too much yet. Trick Style. It's not the one I thought I originally owned. So there was a different game. I can't remember the name right now. I thought this one was it, so I bought this one. Got a good deal on eBay for it anyway, so it didn't bug me none. So I grabbed this one. Haven't really played it much. Can't really comment. This next game surprised the hell out of me with how good this game is, how good this game looks. And it ain't frickin' easy. But damn the graphics. Ultimate Fighter Championship. This is one hell of a game. Definitely well worth it. The graphics are amazing. The fighting is really good. It is hard. I get my butt kicked. I'm always submitting in the first round. But it is freaking gorgeous. The graphics in this game, the gameplay, everything is just fabulous. So here is the racing game that I've been enjoying the hell out of. I think this one is well worth it. The graphics are truly amazing on here. Some of the cars feel a little floaty. But then again, if you're driving a big old SUVs, the ones that are known to tip over if you're going too fast, I can see why it's floaty. And that is Vanishing Point. this game to me is well worth it. I bought this game. I cannot believe how beautiful this game is with the graphics. The gameplay, everything is just amazing. I like this game a lot. Out of all the racing games I have, this one right now on the Dreamcast is my favorite. This is the one I've been playing a lot. Just, I love this game. This game is great. Here's one I've actually never played yet. Vigilante 8. Is that what it is? Vigilante 8, Second Offensive. I've actually never played it. I can't say nothing about it. It's a cargo boom boom game. Now, I know Soul Calibur and Dead or Alive are two of the really great Dreamcast fighting games. This one I'm about to show you is my absolute favorite fighting game on the Dreamcast because I'm a huge fan of this series. And this is basically the reason why I always wanted a Dreamcast and part of the reason why I also wanted a PlayStation 4. But that is Virtual Fighter 3 TB. Team Battle. Graphic-wise, it might not be as good as Dead or Alive or Soul Calibur, but I'm a huge fan of the Virtual Fighter series. I have every single one of them except Virtual Fighter 4 or Virtual Fighter 5 Showdown. That's on the PlayStation 4, is it on? Because I don't have a PlayStation 4. Alright, another sports game, one I really haven't played. One that I really haven't played too often yet. And it's a soccer game, Virtual Striker 2. Graphic-wise, the game looks good, from what I remember. Haven't really played much, can't say much about the controls, can't say much if it's better than FIFA or anything like that. But it's one of the soccer games on here that I have. I just don't have much to say about it. Some of these games I buy on a whim just because I get a good deal on them. And I want more Dreamcast games. This game is a lot of fun, though. This next one I'm about to show. It's an early Rockstar game. And it's called Wild Metal. You are driving a tank blowing the hell out of crap. I don't even know what you're supposed to be doing. I'm just driving around shooting stuff and just blowing things up. Graphic-wise, it's okay. Explosions are really cool sounding. But physically-wise, the game for just driving around shooting stuff and blowing things up, that's all I've been doing. It's a lot of fun. I like blowing stuff up. I think I got that one for like $9 too, so it's definitely a good price. This is the last sports game in the list? Yes, this is the last sports game in the list. It's number 2 of the sports game series. I will probably get the other ones if there's the other 2 still out there. I don't know. Don't really need them. But it's baseball. World Series Baseball 2K1. Like I said, this is when Sega really had their stuff together with games. Baseball, football, all that. They had their stuff together. Great graphics, great gameplay. It's baseball, though. It's up to you if you want to play them or not. Alright, so this is the last... Oops. Put that back down. So this is the last game I have that is... How'd you say it? Authentic for, I guess, the U.S. market. This was a game that came out on the Dreamcast a couple years ago. Also came out on the Genesis, the Xbox, came out on pretty much everything. And that is Xenocrisis. I bought this actually from what do they call it here? Bitmap or whatever. Went to the website, bought the actual game from them, so this is actually the real version, not a hack, nothing like that. Had everything in here, even including an upside down CD right now, because I've actually been playing it. But this is actually made by them. This is not a reprint or anything like that. I bought this and the Genesis version at the same time. The Genesis one is hanging up back there on the wall. It's on one of the sides. I don't remember where it is up there, but it's back there. Alright, so we got a couple more things to show off here real quick. One of them is, I do have a demo CD. But now let's go to my non-American games. These are also still authentic. First one is Power Stone. When I saw this at the retro game store out here where I live, I didn't care there was a Japanese one. I bought it. And at the time when I bought this, I didn't know if I could play it because I don't have a modded system or anything. So I ended up having to pick up the basically a Game Shark disc that will allow you to actually run these games. Power Stone, need I say a lot about it? It's one hell of a fighting game, great graphics, using the environment, all sorts of stuff. Arena combat style fighting game, totally worth the money. This next one I thought was actually number 2 of the game, and it's still number 1. Japanese version of Marvel vs. Capcom. This one's complete in box at least. I got the manual even though I can't read it. But yeah, I thought this was number 2 when I bought it. Didn't realize until I got it here, until it got delivered from eBay, that it was the wrong one. I went to check my eBay thing, and god dang it, I gotta learn to read. Let's just put it that way. Alright, these next games. I gotta put these in the correct order. Oh, speaking of that, this is the CD that allows me to play the imports. This allows you to play imports on the DreamCast. Alright, these next 3 games, these are all reproductions, I guess you could say. Someone else made them for me type idea, that type of stuff. One of them is an unreleased game on the Dreamcast. It is finished. I wish Sega would have released this. This would have been around September 11th. The day that the World Trade Centers got destroyed. Sega decided to cancel the game because you could run into buildings. But it was finished. I'm glad someone leaked it out. That is Propeller Arena. Now, one thing about this one right here. The print the guy used and everything is extremely well done. I know it's going to be hard to read on here, but everything is legible. You can actually read everything. Look at the disc the guy did. That is insane. Then shortly after I bought this one and the other one from this guy, he disappeared. I don't know if he got caught or what, but woo, well worth it. I don't remember what I paid for this or anything. The design the guys put on this, the CD, everything, well worth it. The other game I bought from him at the exact same time was one that I heard about that's really, really hard to get. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games on here, all arcade ports. And it's called GameWorks. Apparently you could got a book that had this disc in there that actually told you how to program games on a Dreamcast. Don't even know if it was in English or not, but again, look at the work that guy did on that. Look at that CD. And that's not a sticker neither. That was pressed. That's pressed onto that CD. However that was done, however they make real CDs, that's how he did this. That's what makes this so damn good. The games that are on here are Outrun, Space Harrier, Hang On, Afterburner, Power Drift. My fault, only 5 games. I counted one wrong. But yeah, it's all those games, all perfect arcade ports. Beautiful. The last one, the absolute last game. This is, what is it at? Atmoswave? S-Wave? S-Wave. S-Wave! That's what Kim Kardashian's butt does when she farts. Oh, I'm sorry. There's another one. The guy presses the CD. This is Dolphin Blue. This is a running gun. It can run a little slow on a Dreamcast. It does take a little while to load up. But once again, look at that CD. That is frickin' gorgeous. I believe this guy is still around. It's from the UK. Every single one of the, I know I'm pronouncing it wrong, Atmos games, whatever they were called. He does all of them like this. I am after the rest of them. It is pricey, They're like 60 bucks to have him do this, but with the quality the guy does, I'm willing to pay. All right. I don't know how long this video went a little longer than I thought it was going to, but that is my Dreamcast collection at the moment. I am still working on building it up, so hopefully we'll see some more games in that soon, but other than that, that is it. I thank you for watching. You stuck through the whole video, and I will see you guys in the next one.